what's going on, toxic gamers? It looks like that we got a whole lot of gaming disasters to talk about from the PlayStation 6, from everybody saying, hey, if you do not want a PlayStation 6, it seems way too early, to the GTA 6 news, and now we're also hearing about The Last of Us Part 3. We're hearing about Uncharted 5. We got Call of Duty news out there as well. Let's get down to it, roll.
Lately, I've been hearing some chatter online about the PlayStation 6.
Yeah.
There are rumors that it could be released as early as 2027, and that just makes me feel awful. Don't get me wrong though, normally I'd be hyped about this, but this time around, I don't know, something just feels off. Like the timing is weird. Or maybe I'm just not ready to let go of this generation yet.
No, everybody's feeling that way, and this is why I wanted to like play this clip, because yes, like even I covered the news about it. You guys heard about it. YouTubers are covering the news for it. It's like nobody cares. It's not that people don't want another console, it's just that it feels too early. But we know it's not too early because we're hearing it's gonna come out in 2027, so that's gonna be like a perfect 7-year window. But it's just that we don't even have that many games on the PS5 and Series X.
And I've got this sneaky feeling that I'm not alone here. Now you might be wondering, wait, what's the big deal? New consoles happen all the time. And yeah, you're right, they do. But this time feels different. Usually, by the time we start hearing rumors about a new console, it feels like we fully explored and enjoyed the current one. We had those groundbreaking games, those big defining moments, those unforgettable experiences that really make the console feel complete. And we get to that point where we want that new hardware. We're tired of playing on the old hardware. You know what I'm saying? But that hasn't happened for this generation yet. And I don't think it's going to feel that way even 2 years after I recorded this video. Exactly. It still feels like we've barely scratched.
So yeah, basically rumors, and this is more than just a rumor because the news comes from officially Sony. You know, back when, you know, Sony, PlayStation, and Microsoft and Activision, they were fighting with FTC in court, right, to acquire. Xbox wanted to acquire Activision, which they have, and they did. But back when, situations when they were iffy, you know, through official documents, we discovered that the next console from PlayStation is either going to come out by the end of 2027 or in 2028. And yes, 2027, if it comes out by the end of 2027, it would be 7 years, and that's basically normal for a new PlayStation console. So it's more than just a rumor now. They can still delay it a little bit further if they want to, but it's more than just rumors. 2 years from now, I mean, yeah, the only game that's probably gonna be big is gonna be GTA 6, and I'm saying probably because we gotta talk about GTA 6 in just a little bit, okay? So yeah, and hopefully that game is not gonna fail us, but wait for it.
Scratch the surface with the PS5. Like, we've got a lot of unfinished business still. And listen, I know how this sounds, maybe a bit grumpy or like I'm getting stuck in the past, but it's not really nostalgia. It's just that I feel like we're racing forward way too fast in a weird way. Technology moves quick, I get that, but sometimes it moves so fast that I feel like I barely get to appreciate what I already have. But you know, I will say this, there is no need to jump to the next upgrade immediately. Even when the PS6 drops, the PS5 will still be a great system to enjoy for years to come. I just feel like I want the PS5 to get more. And
the fact is that whatever game that's gonna come, it's probably gonna be on PS5 too. Just like how still we're getting games on PS4, bro. And it's not that like, you know, like PS4 bad, PS4 this or that. It's just that, why do we have PS5, bro? Why do we have PS5 if we gonna get games on the PS4? Now, admittedly, yes, the games, the resolution-wise, graphics-wise, are better on the PS5. I get that. But, like, still, I mean, damn, bro. Like, we don't even have that many good games, and we're already talking about PlayStation 6, bro.
More attention from Sony before they split their focus and add yet another platform to their arsenal, if that makes any sense. Maybe you feel the same way, maybe you don't. Either way is fine, but if you're nodding your head right now, even just a little bit, stick with me here and let's talk this out, because honestly, I'm just not ready for the PS6 yet. Let me ask you a question. Does the PS5 feel old to you yet? Because honestly, it still feels brand new to me. And I don't mean in that fresh out of the box type of way, but in a more meaningful sense. Like, if this console generation were a net—
Yo, damn, I don't know, but you know, this portion, bro, the graphics, I don't know, man. Yo, like, it didn't look— what the hell? I remember when they first revealed it, it looked so good. Now it does not. Like, what happened? I mean, it's one of those things, right? Certain cutscenes or aspects don't look that good, and this happens to be just one of those.
Fresh out of the box type of way, but in a more meaningful sense. Like, if this console generation were a Netflix series, I'd swear we're still stuck in season 1, waiting for the real plot to begin. I will say though, in the defense of the PS5, we have gotten some really excellent games. My 3 favorite being Demon's Souls, Returnal, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh,
Each one of those games set
I thought he was gonna say Stellar Blade for obvious reasons, but okay, he did not.
my heart aflame by how beautiful they were, how satisfying they played, and in Rebirth's case, how engrossing and enjoyable the story was. And you know, when I pull up a list for the current PS5 exclusive games, we do have a good amount. Honestly, I would even say we have a great amount of exclusives so far. And if you're watching the video, I'm showing gameplay clips of all the games that have been released on the PS5 so far.
But it just
so if we do have a good amount of games on the PS5, then why do I feel this way? Why am I not ready to move on? I've never felt this way about any console generation ever.
Exactly, though. Now, on paper, we did get some games. Some would argue a lot of PlayStation, Sony Pony exclusive, but it just feels empty, though. It just feels like we didn't get enough. I think it's multiple reasons, right? A lot of live service games, right? They want to nickel and dime us, microtransactions, this, that, the other, unfinished messes, and also our expectations are rising, no doubt about it, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So I'm not gonna put it in a bad category, but it's true. So our expectations are rising. Also, we're getting old, and time is flying way too quick right now too. Probably because we're getting older and also responsibilities creeping in, so there is that. And also, I mean, games nowadays, they don't look too different. I mean, we haven't even seen like a graphical leap. You know, for example, I remember when they first revealed God of War 2018 back at E3 2016, and another thing is that E3 is no longer happening, right? So they permanently canceled, which is just real sad. But we're getting Summer Game Fest soon, so I'll probably be live streaming that too. Battlefield's probably gonna get revealed, so excited about that. Hopefully that game is gonna be bussin', because so far, based off of what they have shown and what we have seen, it does look pretty good. But I think it's just multitude of things right now. Yeah, but moving on to this one. So Activision got humbled. They finally got what they deserve, and I love it. That's the homie Nero Shenema roll.
Roundup video coming off the heels of yesterday's Season 4 reveal. We got some new footage of the upcoming Grief game mode, which I truly do hope is good. I had so much fun playing Grief with my friends back in the day in Black Ops 2. Like, Black Ops 2 Zombies, especially for the time, was freaking incredible. So much fun, and they're bringing back Grief after all this time. Hopefully it's going to be good, but we also got some news.
And quick thoughts on Black Ops 6 Zombies. You guys like it or don't like it, or you find it meh or alright? I would say alright for me. Like, I didn't enjoy that much of Black Ops Cold War Zombies other than its gameplay. The gameplay was solid. Call of Duty gameplay has always has been solid. I never had any complaints about the gameplay. Like, gameplay is always good for Call of Duty, right? But Zombies just, you know what I'm saying? This time, yeah, I do play sometimes. I mean, it's not as good as something like Black Ops 3. It's missing the heart. You know, like, that's what Black Ops 6 is missing, in my honest opinion. But other than that, the recent 2 maps have been better than previous maps. I'll say that for sure.
About just how terribly Activision failed recently with one of their projects. Now, normally it's in poor taste to kick somebody when they're down, but when it comes to Activision, I think we're going to take literally every chance we can get to poke fun at them because of all the bullshit they pulled on us over the course of the past couple of years. Recently, I'm sure you guys heard the news that Warzone Mobile got shut down. Activision came out and said basically they just weren't making enough money, so they shut everything down, and they aren't even giving out refunds to anybody who purchased items within the game.
Not giving refunds, hey man. that's classic Activision. And also, before I forgot, like, okay, now, like, I had this, I wanted to talk about this, right, when we were speaking about the PlayStation 6. Now the only thing that's carrying us, the only hope that we have is GTA 6, bro, because, you know, everybody else kind of failed us. Everybody else kind of failed us. I mean, of course, they have been like good games, this and that, but Ubisoft failed us big time, and you know, with the Captain Cherry Blossom Flowered Captain BBC. I just wanted to salute the Captain BBC, bro. All right, let's get back to it.
Game. Well, thanks to the game business, who we covered recently for exposing just how bad the Black Ops 6 player count really is, we can now see exactly how badly Activision failed and just how humbled they got. So it turns out that since March of 2024, when Warzone Mobile came out, Activision only made $17 million from that game. And when you hear that, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. We need a bit of context here. So for context, it turns out that the original Call of Duty Mobile, which is developed by Tencent and not by Activision Studios, well, COD Mobile makes more than $17 million every single month, and it took Warzone Mobile well over a year to do what COD Mobile does in a month. It was a colossal failure, and that's why Activision ultimately...
Say psych right now. Say you swear to God, bro. I'm pretty sure the homie Emo Blame Truth, he would be jumping right now. Pause. He would be jumping, man. He would be getting ready to make a new YouTube video and all that, bro. Which I cannot wait. Absolutely, I cannot wait. But damn, Activision said, hey man, we're not making money. Even though like we sold skins, people bought skins, we're not gonna refund.
Bruh.
Okay, classic Activision.
Shut the game down. From the start, the game was pretty much doomed because Activision tried to do what they always do, which is release a subpar game and hope to cash in on brand recognition alone, and then maybe, if they get to it, slowly fix the game over time and try to get it up to the standard, right? They do this with virtually all of their mainline Call of Duty games anymore. We see it year after year, and I think they figured they could just do the same thing on mobile as well. You know, just throw out Warzone so people can play it on their phones, put Verdansk in there, and lock Verdansk exclusively with it.
And also break people's phones, make sure that the phones get overheated and all that. Cannot forget that.
Warzone Mobile, and then just sit back and watch the money roll in, right? Well, that's not exactly what ended up happening. The game got absolutely blasted with negative reviews right away because it ran like shit. It was burning up and blowing up people's phones. The shop was incredibly predatory, along with also being incredibly lackluster.
Yeah, there we go, right? There we go. It was blowing up people's phones. I guess he's like a little extreme, but it was not like literally blowing up people's phones. Not literally. But it was like, yeah, it was overheating people's phones though, you know, it was way too much for the phones to handle. And I'm talking about those like new phones, you know, the one that you pay good money for. The $1,000 plus phones, brothers. The $1,000 plus phones. They were overheating those suckers too, bruh. And with microtransactions, I mean, cat damn. They even got my non-existent dog to have that Diddy look though. Even my dog is getting that, not my dog, my online dog getting that Diddy look right now. Yeah, they went even extreme than the friendly UAV online bundle. Friendly UAV! You know, they sold this bundle extra, you know what I'm saying? Bruh. On PS4, PS5, PS4, I'm talking about Modern Warfare 2022, right? They went even a step further, and they're now saying no refunds, no refunds.
Cluster compared to what Tencent was putting into COD Mobile, it was just freaking bad. And at the end of the day, we are talking about a mobile version of Warzone here, so it's not going to be the biggest deal in the world, but this community needs to take their wins wherever they can get them. You know, Activision thought they could just pull the same bullshit they always do, and this time it absolutely blew up in their faces, and I love to see that happen. The same thing is also happening, albeit to a lesser extent, in the mainline Call of Duty games. You know, Black Ops 6, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. We've said it time and time again, there isn't anything really inherently wrong with Black Ops 6 as compared to other Call of Duty games, but this time around, fans are just straight up burnt out on the cycle, man. They're burnt out on these subpar launches.
Yeah, like Black Ops 6 isn't too amazing, but it's not that bad either. Like, but it just, yeah, I guess it's a multitude of things, right? It's Activision's greed. They're dropping a lot of content, but a lot of it is behind a paywall, the microtransactions, the skins, the BBC bundles, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I gotta stop joking about that, like pause. But now, for real, I mean, yes, I'm joking, but there's truth behind it. It's that we're getting so much content in Call of Duty, but most of it is skins. They're putting their effort into the skins, and the skins look good, don't get me wrong. Minus that friendly UAV online bundle, but the weapon skins, they look good, but it's like $20, $30, like no cap. Bro, what the hell? Like, I ain't gonna buy that $30, $20 bundle. Like get the hell out of here, man. Get your ass out of here. Like, I'm not gonna buy that. So it seems like that every piece of content they drop is behind a paywall. So yeah, you don't care about it that much after a while. But other than that, there's nothing inherently wrong with the game, like he's also saying. It's also but the fact is true that, you know, Call of Duty game comes out every year, and we don't necessarily get major like leaps in gameplays or anything like that, so people get burnt out very quick. And after a month of Black Ops 6, we saw people dropping like flies. people started dropping off the game and the player count went down too. So and Black Ops 6 isn't that bad of a game versus like previous years, but it just happens to be that people are burnt out and nobody necessarily cares that much, which is just kind of sad. But speaking of PlayStation 5 new leak, Uncharted 5 The Last of Us Part 3, check this, roll it.
Video, an official Naughty Dog update, and Uncharted 5 or Last of Us Part 3. So let's go over the Uncharted 5 Last of Us Part 3 aspect, then move to the Naughty Dog update. Reading from Push Square, there's been speculation in recent times about Naughty Dog's upcoming project, and now in a slight update, The Last of Us director Neil Druckmann has revealed he's involved in a second title at the studio. Druckmann has not only been locked in as one of the directors of
Yo, please keep him away from Uncharted 5, man. I don't want to see Nathan Drake to die in the game, bro. Yeah, man, keep him away, man.
Galactic the Heretic Prophet, but he's also confirmed he's working in more. Only been locked in as one of the directors of Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, but he's also confirmed he's working in more of a producer role on this second unannounced project. Here's part of what he had to say during a chat with the Press X to Continue podcast this week. Then there's another game that's being worked on at Naughty Dog where I'm in more of a producer role and I get to mentor, watch this other team, and give feedback and be the executive in the room. I enjoy all these roles, and the fact that I jump from one to the next makes my job very exciting and always feeling fresh. I'm never bored. This follows a story in March suggesting Sean SK on.
Of course, you're not gonna be bored when you kill Joel in the game and kill everybody's hope. You know, and make gamers mad. And now you got the Intergalactic out there, and hopefully he's not gonna be touching Nathan Drake though. Pause. But
Uncharted Lost Legacy could be leading a second unannounced game at Naughty Dog with Anthony Newman, Last of Us Part 2, also potentially connected to the studio's unannounced projects. Naughty Dog originally announced it had more than one PlayStation 5 single-player title in the works in 2023 when it confirmed the cancellation of its Last of Us multiplayer project. So people have been wondering what this second project is. Looking at the information we have from Daniel RPK, he stated that Naughty Dog has a second project in the works that's not The Last of Us Part 3, but obviously that's just a rumor. We've had other rumors as well talking about an Uncharted.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna drop Last of Us Part 3 that quick, right? And the reason Uncharted comes into play, or a lot of people think it's Uncharted, is because of the movie right, that release as well, and we're gonna have more Uncharted movies from with Tom Holland, if I'm not mistaken. They confirmed that too. So yeah, Sony wanna boost Uncharted. Uncharted is PlayStation, PlayStation is Uncharted, Uncharted, Spider-Man, Last of Us, right? These are like the bigger, God of War, these are the bigger franchises that are known for PlayStation, and PlayStation is known by them. So they're not gonna cut it down, they're gonna amplify it, they're gonna make more and more and more. And of course, we've had rumors for a very long time that a new Uncharted game, it has been in development, and it's very likely we're gonna get it. It's just a matter of when.
The Last of Us Part 3, but obviously that's just a rumor. We've had other rumors as well talking about an Uncharted reboot, but those were tied with the game being in the works at another studio. But we've seen Naughty Dog take a project that began at another studio and take control of it and take it in-house and start doing work on it themselves, like the Last of Us remake, which actually started at another studio, not Naughty Dog, but then they took over. According to Daniel RPK, this other project has been in the works for 3 years. I personally think this is the Uncharted reboot, mainly because of Sean SK working on it, because he was the director of Uncharted Lost Legacy. It makes sense for him to take over this project if it's a reboot of the series with Drake's daughter as the lead. To add to this, we recently had Shinobi also confirmed this is a big project, not a small one, which also makes sense since Uncharted Lost Legacy was a side story to the Uncharted series, but now they're probably giving...
I definitely want bigger projects, and make no mistake, Naughty Dog has been pretty good in a lot of aspects. It's just that there are certain things that they do, you know, wokeifying the games and all that, and gamers like not down with that, and these were like huge complaints and still are. And yeah, Neil Druckmann does something completely opposite of what gamers want, so people are always like fed up with him. Because when Amy Hennig was at you know, Uncharted, or I should say Naughty Dog in general, people were loving her direction, okay? And rightfully so. I'm one of them, like, bruh, like, she made Uncharted what it is, okay? She was Naughty Dog, she was Uncharted, okay? She was like the big brains behind Uncharted, and of course like other people as well, but people adored Amy Hennig's work, myself included. And truly though, Uncharted is one of a kind. So if Neil Druckmann becomes front and center, and if he ruins it, bruh, there's bound to be a whole lot of drama on the internets. But speaking of GTA 6, there's only one thing gamers are talking about right now, and only one thing. And yeah, check this, roll it.
the yacht scene, and yeah, the one with the absolutely unhinged jiggle physics. That whole thing looks like a cutscene too, especially the way Lucia spins around to show off her outfit. That little twirl animation feels scripted as hell. No way that's gameplay. Same deal with the conversation in the car, and the quick shot of them holding hands. And with the 919 party clip, that's another cutscene. As well as the scene where things clearly
yeah, like, it's very, very important questions, guys. Like, you know, people want the answers to these questions, so, you know, we got the homie Inter answering those questions right now.
Start falling apart for Jason. It's all cinematic. But right after that, when Lucia jumps down from the barred window, that moment feels like a transition and looks like another of those scenes where we'll regain control right after the landing and keep moving. Then we get a few more obvious cutscene shots before jumping into another piece of gameplay with Jason shooting out the window while leaning slightly from the car. That's pure gameplay, no doubt in my mind. And after that, a couple more quick cuts that scream cutscene again. And now this next clip is actually pretty interesting. At first, I thought it had to be a cutscene. I mean, there's no way we'd be able to fight like that with throwing someone up against a car or a wall. We never had anything close to that in previous GTA.
Man. Looking back at GTA 5, bro. Oh shit! Oh shit. Bro, it don't look that good, alright? In comparison. Even though, like, GTA 5 still holds up to this day. And graphically speaking, it's nothing bad. It just happens to be that GTA 6 is gonna have a lot more textures, a lot more details, and the lighting is gonna be way better, right? And mind you, and people always forget, and myself included, but still, GTA 5 is a PlayStation 3 game, guys. Never forget, it's a PlayStation 3 game that came out on September 17, 2013. First on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And then later on, it came on PC, PS4 Next Gen. First on PS4 Next Gen in 2014. 2015 was PC, and then these things brought it on PS5, and then they re-released it with brand new updates on the PC. They remaster it, remaster, and all that. But at heart, it still is a PS3 game, which is just crazy to me, bro.
But then it hit me. Rockstar isn't building off GTA 5 anymore. They're pulling more and more from Red Dead 2, and that kind of hand-to-hand combat was absolutely a thing in RDR 2, so now I'm leaning toward this one being actual gameplay. Same goes for the underground fight club scene with Lucia. That definitely looks like gameplay to me, and it feels like Rockstar took the cage fighting side activity from the Ballad of Gay Tony and just cranked it up. Considering Lucia's backstory being trained to fight from a young age, it makes perfect sense that she'd be part of something like this, so I wouldn't be surprised if underground fights become a full side hustle in GTA.
Yeah, got a whole lot of that strong independent. I am strong, I am independent.
GTA 6. Next scene is definitely a cutscene. Nothing about it screams player controlled, but right after that, we're back to gameplay. Lucia's firing off a grenade launcher, causing this massive explosion that sends 2 police cars flying into the air. And what's wild is how
she a bad girl, man.
The big armored police van barely moves. You can tell Rockstar really nailed the physics here. The next 2 clips that follow are most likely cutscenes again, but then we're back in action with that
dog. Like, and of course, this is one of those leaks that came true. We heard that, and it's pretty wild that this leak came true. The original leak said that it's gonna be like Fast and Furious 5. Was it Fast and Furious 5 where, you know, they rob the vault? They do a heist. That movie was based off of bank heist, right? They take the vault, and yeah, so that's what the leak said. Was it in Fast and Furious 5 or 6? I might be mixing that up, but yeah, we had the leak, and that's what we're seeing. And this scene right here, just amazing, man. You see the city skyline, you see the landing gear out as well. And apparently, like, this is another chick, so underneath is Lucia, okay? So, but how did her clothes, why is she not wearing anything? I don't know, how does that happen, bro? Like, I don't know, man. Did Lucia, like, really pull the, I don't know about that.
You can tell
like, let's find out. I guess the only way to find out is when the game comes out, right? So underneath, that's Lucia, but what about, like, her? Like, how did the clothes, like, where are the clothes? Where are the clothes, Rockstar? Yeah, right, like crazy. But did you see this video though? If not, click on this video on the screen. The stuff that she was caught doing, crazy. Check it out and I'll see you right there.